Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly forecast for August 16th through the 22nd. This is going to be the cards that we're going to use here for the weekly forecast for the week ahead. And since I didn't get a chance to do love readings for August, we're going to pull some love and romance messages from this deck here at the very end. But we're going to go ahead and, like we do in the weekly forecast, we're going to focus on everything other than love in the beginning. So this is going to be for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and we will also set Venus because we will cover love in the reading. Eventually, we'll get to it. So we're setting the intention for Venus as well this week. Let's see what's going on here for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and Venus in the week ahead. And if you happen to find this video outside of the dates I mentioned, don't you worry, you found it when you were meant to. Take the messages that resonate and leave what doesn't. First card here right off the bat is the Chariot. All of the signs so far seem to be getting major arcana cards right at the very beginning. So this doesn't surprise me because we are coming out of Lionsgate energy, and Lionsgate is big energy. It's big energy, okay? So it's not surprising to have so much major arcana energy showing up right now. Major arcana cards are going to come up when we're at a really significant new chapter in our life. It's a defining moment. It's a crossroads. It's a really big shift in energy, directly connected to what we came here to experience, accomplish. It's big shifts. So even though we're setting the intention for August 16th through the 22nd, whatever's happening this week is setting you up for a lot of changes in the near future. This major arcana energy is going to run longer than just 7 days. Now, it is the Chariot card, so there could be association here with the zodiac sign of Cancer. So if you have a Cancer placement in your chart, that area of your life might be going through a lot of changes right now, a lot of upgrades. Some of you could be dealing with a Cancer, okay? Because this is the card associated with their sign. However, we know that this is going to be, as I said, big changes, big shifts, big energy. One more thing about the Chariot card before we move on. Chariot card for me, if I could put it in a little nutshell and just explain the main thing here, it always makes me think of the quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson when he said, "Once we make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen." So a Chariot card sometimes comes up when we have life lessons in making our decisions and choosing what we want. So if you've been in this energy where you've just felt stuck for a really long time because you're like, angels help me, angels help me, angels help me, open a door. They're like, okay, we want to help you, but we have to respect your free will. We have to respect your free will. Which door would you like opened? What would you like to do? What would you like to focus on? So sometimes I see the Chariot card come up when you have really massive life lessons in this life right now about exercising your free will and exercising your independence. That you have the right to make choices. You get to choose what you want to do in your life, and you have the right to be able to do it independently without anybody else coming in and taking it over or controlling it or trying to control you. So there's a lot of life lessons here in independence, freedom, success, and free will when I see the Chariot card come up. The next card here, my dears, is the World, okay? So some of you might also be wanting to do some kind of a physical move here. Chariot can sometimes be relocation or travel, taking some kind of trip, and the World card has an element of travel in it as well. Now you have two major arcana cards coming in back to back. So this is telling us that you guys, Sagittarius, are coming into a big time of change, a big shift. And the World card is telling us that whatever the shift is, it has to do with closing out a karmic cycle. Some of you have been having the same garbage happening to you again and again and again and again. Okay, the same garbage happening to you repeatedly. But this is the time that you're done with it once and for all. Because when the World card comes up, we have finally figured out what we were meant to figure out. We have finally mastered what we were meant to master. And now is the time that we can feel confident and fall in love with ourselves in a healthy, non-narcissistic kind of way. Be comfortable in our own skin exactly as we are in this moment now. And to put ourselves out there where we're ready to be appreciated. We're ready to be celebrated. We're ready to be put up on a pedestal even. Okay, and to be comfortable with that. So this is a card of receiving praise, receiving credit. Okay, and that really goes in line with the whole thing of the life lesson of free will and what you want. So that you can make these choices, feel confident about the choices that you're making, and be ready to be seen and celebrated. Some of you have had a fear of success, and you're just barely realizing that. Some of you have been like, you know what? I haven't reached for things and I haven't tried for things because I was so scared that if I succeed, you know, I'm going to have to leave people behind. Or if I succeed, all of a sudden a lot of people are going to be paying attention to me. And that's a lot of pressure, and I don't want that attention on me. Or if I succeed, all of a sudden people are going to be coming after me and trying to, you know, push me out of the way and take what I have, and that's scary. So whatever the fear has been, some of you are realizing that there's ultimately at the bottom of it a fear of success. And you're coming out of it. I mean, think about it. We're in Lionsgate energy, right? We had this massive Lionsgate energy come in, and Leo... the sign of Leo is very charismatic. It's energy that commands attention. Lots of, and I know this is not a Leo reading, but lots of Leos end up in entertainment or in the public eye because they command attention. And so Sagittarius, those of you who've had this fear of success and fear of attention, this Leo energy is doing you good. You're sucking it up, you're absorbing it, you're making use of it. Now your next card here is the Eight of Wands. All right, so this is passion. This is things becoming unstuck. Things moving forward very quickly. Things happening very fast. There's some kind of travel here. And as I'm looking at the Eight of Wands, I'm hearing upgrade. Upgrade, upgrade. So I feel some of you are getting some movement, some travel that is taking you to the next step in your life. Okay, some of you might be having an opportunity to visit someone, and that is turning into a relocation. Some of you are upgrading your living environment, right? We are kind of sort of bringing in love and romance here into this reading. So some of you might even be upgrading your partner. I'm sorry to say. Apologies to any cross watchers. Keep in mind it's a general reading. I'm not throwing shade at you. It might not have anything to do with you at all. Right? It could be a different Sagittarius that has nothing to do with your situation. So apologies if I've offended any cross-watchers. But Sagittarius, for some of you, you might even be upgrading your romantic partner. Because for some reason, as I'm looking at Eight of Wands, I keep hearing upgrade being repeated. But this is travel, this is passion, this is movement, this is any kind of blocks getting out of the way, and like just smooth, open, full steam ahead energy. Okay, so whatever delays you were dealing with, they're over, they're done. I will also say this, Eight of Wands can be news coming in. So maybe you were waiting to hear about a situation and you're getting good news, like, hey, you know, you got it, or it's yours, or you passed, or whatever news you've been waiting for. Eight of Wands can be good news coming in as well. Now your next card, my dears, is the Five of Wands. Now I know that looking at this can be confusing, because on one hand you're like, wow, we have all these positive cards. Now why are we coming into Five of Wands if Five of Wands is conflict and fighting? Well, in terms of conflict and fighting, Five of Wands can be that now that things are happening very fast, all of a sudden you're feeling very conflicted. Right? You might be thinking, well, I don't know if I should, and maybe I'm going to regret this, and, you know, maybe that's going to happen. And some of you might have conflict, inner conflict. Some of you might have conflict. Other people are like, what do you mean you're leaving? What do you mean? What do you mean? So some of you might have people that don't agree with the decisions that you're taking, or they might feel like you're doing something very suddenly, or very abruptly, and they might be kind of arguing with you about it. But in terms of anything having to do with business or career, Five of Wands is super positive, okay? Because Five of Wands is a card of competition. So for somebody self-employed, Five of Wands is going to say you're making a name for yourself. People are starting to talk about you. People are starting to see you as a worthy opponent or a competitor that they have to look out for. They're seeing you as a threat, right? You're making your mark in the field. Likewise, in a career situation, if you're working for somebody, if you're an employee somewhere, you're starting to make a name for yourself. You're getting positive attention. There might be promotions and things that are opening up. People might notice that the supervisors seem to like you or seem to notice you. You seem to be doing a really good job. And they're like, oh, well, now here's Sagittarius' competition. So they might kind of come at you. They might try to knock you down a couple of pegs. They might try to do things to aggravate you or make you doubt yourself because they're intimidated by you. They're seeing you as, oh, well, you know what, I want that promotion or I want that raise, but Sagittarius might be in the way, right? So when the Five of Wands comes up, in terms of career and business, it's positive. You're being seen as a threat. You're being seen as someone who's being taken seriously. Okay, and in other ways it could be where we're kind of torn and we're just kind of like torn within ourselves. We have this inner conflict. Should I, shouldn't I? Am I ready? Am I not ready? If you weren't ready, the opportunity wouldn't be here, right? It's just about planning and taking responsible steps to ensure success and to ensure safety nets, because sometimes things don't happen as quickly as we thought, or they don't pan out the way that we thought that they would. But if we have those little safety nets in place, we don't have to be so scared to try something new or to go in a new direction. We're going to go ahead and look at the cards here around love and romance. As I said, the September love readings are already up, so feel free to check those out. I do have to do the air and earth signs still for September love, but they will be up early. We're going to go ahead and see, though, what's coming up here for the week ahead for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and Venus in love and romance. Alrighty, my dears. So, the first card here is the Page of Swords. Some of you could be dealing with a younger air sign. Not necessarily, but you could be. Because it's a page and it's the swords. So, air sign is going to be Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. If not a younger air sign, it could be a very youthful air sign. Maybe somebody who's very youthful or has a very youthful spirit. Now, Page of Swords can also indicate a couple of things for me in my readings. Sometimes, depending on the energy of the person, Page of Swords for me is the throat chakra opening up. The universe is trying to teach you to speak up. Okay? And to speak up in the small things, to speak up in the small moments. Maybe you've been in the energy before where you try not to make a big deal about things. And so you let it slide, you let it slide, you let it slide. And after the 50th time it happens, you can't let it slide anymore and you go off. And then they're like, man, Sagittarius, what's going on with you today? Why are you in such a bad mood? Why are you so sensitive today? They don't understand what they did wrong because they did it 49 times before and you didn't say anything. They did it the 50th time and you went off, and they're like, well, why? This is how it always is. This is how it's always been. How come all of a sudden it's bothering you? What's your deal? Right? So Page of Swords can sometimes come up to say speak up in that moment, right then and there, and to speak up in the small things. And that makes a statement to the universe that your voice matters, that your opinion matters, right? Oh, do you mind if we change the station? I really don't like this song. Or, oh, you know what, do you mind if we don't, get fast food for dinner tonight? I'm kind of tired of fast food. I want to make something at home. Or whatever it might be, right? Just speak up in that moment. The other thing that Page of Swords can mean, and this is more traditional meaning of the card, Page of Swords can be that somebody is kind of keeping an eye on you and gathering information. Maybe it's you. Maybe somebody has caught your eye and you're watching them very carefully and you're taking notes and you're gathering information. But I always say this when the Page of Swords comes up. If you are somebody who's active on social media, be very cautious of anybody that is coming in and trying to get any kind of information from you. Okay, I think Leo might have had a similar message as well. Maybe it's a fire sign thing in the current energy here, but sometimes Page of Swords can be somebody is trying to get information on you, any means necessary. So don't share things with strangers that you would not want to get back to anybody that you know, and just be cautious of what you're sharing in general. Your next card here is the Lover's card, and this is a major arcana card. Now, there could be a Gemini in the mixture, because you have Page of Swords, which could be an air sign person, and then you have the Lover's card, which is astrologically associated with Gemini. Some of you could be dealing very well with a Gemini. Now, it's a major arcana card. So for me in my readings, when major arcana cards come up between two people, it tells me there's a strong past life connection. This is a significant relationship. This is like somebody that you were meant to meet, that you have a contract with. And obviously the Lover's card is going to indicate romance. But the Lover's card also has to do with choices and decisions. And sometimes it comes up in my readings when Spirit is saying that this is a relationship or this is a connection that's going to help you figure out what love means to you. What is love to you? Because people have different definitions. And what might be somebody's dream relationship might be a nightmare relationship for you. And vice versa. Right? We keep saying love, but we forget that people have different ideas of what love should look like. And so maybe some of you aren't quite sure, and this is a time that you're going to be able to figure that out. Now, the Page of Swords can also indicate here, next to the Lover's card, that some of you are receiving some kind of love confession, or somebody's coming up and like approaching you for a relationship. This can be something very new, and they might be coming and like just speaking to you very bluntly, like, hey, I want to be with you. So maybe Sagittarius, for some of you, this is going to be someone you were friends with for a while and you didn't see it coming. For some reason, Sagittarius, I feel for some of you, this is someone that's closely connected to like an ex, somebody that you used to be with. And I feel like some of you have reservations about that, because you're like, well, I don't know. I don't know if I should be with this person because, you know, they were friends with my ex, and, you know, maybe people are going to talk. But something about the Lover's card and something about the way that this particular page is drawn makes me feel like this is someone who's going to be really persistent. They're like, look, I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how long it takes. I just feel like some of you have someone that's really, 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 gosh, like, I even feel like this is somebody, like, they're going to the extent of, like, writing poems. Like, writing poems or writing songs or, you know, letters. And I just feel this is someone that they're just going to keep telling you until you believe them. That's the energy I feel. Now, the next card here is the Nine of Swords. And I sometimes I get ahead of the cards. As I've said before, sometimes I get ahead in the energy, I get ahead of the cards. And Nine of Swords is that fear and that anxiety. What are people going to say? How is it going to look? Maybe I'm going to give this person a chance and then I'm going to regret it, right? Or maybe I'm going to give this person a chance and it's going to ruin our friendship. Nine of Swords says be very careful, because when we're in the Nine of Swords energy, we might be worrying a lot, we might be freaking out a lot, and that puts out energy to where we begin to manifest what we don't want. Nine of Swords can also be sleepless nights. And what happens when we don't get enough sleep? We get super emotional. And when we're super emotional, we don't make very good decisions. So if you're finding yourself in a situation where you have to make some big decisions this week, especially in terms of love and romance, you need to do what you need to do to try to get some sleep. Sleep on it. Before you give this answer, before you give this decision, sleep on it. Okay? Nine of Swords for me is telling you quite literally, sleep on it. And just you know, don't rush into the decision, but give yourself time to rest. Give yourself time to clear the fear energy. We never want to make a decision based in fear. Fear-based decisions are never going to work out, right? So sleep on it. Pray about it. Give it up to God. Give it up to the universe. Surrender it. Ask yourself logically, and maybe once you've had some good sleep, when you're in a more logical state of mind, ask yourself, okay, well, here's the fears I have. What are some things that I can do that are going to protect me, or that are going to keep me safe in the situation, or that are going to help me have a good result? What is in your power? Take those steps, surrender the rest. Okay, but get some rest before you give a final answer here. Some of you might be coming into a make it or break it situation with a relationship, and again, you might just really need some rest here to have that mental clarity. You may want to check out your moon sign, rising sign, Venus sign. Some weeks that might resonate for you more than others. It might add a little extra information that might be helpful. And don't forget, my dears, to check out the love readings for September, those of you who are interested in that. I am having a temporary sale on private readings. I'll probably keep it going until Tuesday or until the calendar fills up, whichever comes first. So major arcana, I'm sorry, I'm going to go to major arcana cards, so I'm going to go on autopilot for a second. So if you want to schedule a private reading with me, you can schedule a private reading with me by going to calendly.com/amethystangelite. You can schedule a private reading with me there. And if you want to check out what the reduced prices are, if you want to compare all that info, I have it listed in the community tab of my channel if you want to know more about specific pricing. But you can go to calendly.com and see the different readings that are there, and you can schedule there. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Take care, my dears.